part 2 of a Jeep Rubicon inspection. I'm going to continue on here at the right quarter panel. You see overall, you've got your typical scratches and whatnot. It's got the Rubicon rocker guard. It's in great shape here. See, you got a little scratch there. Tub. Finish off the tub and then move back to the door. See, just minor chips and scratches continuing up into the cowl. Antenna hasn't been busted off, so that's nice. That tends to happen on these things when they're wheeled. You see the hinges are in pretty good shape on the side. You've got a little bit of rust starting. The housing for the mirror on the side is in good shape. The mirror itself is in good shape. Going back along the door here. See, just very minor scratches, a nick here, a chip there. Very typical stuff here. Coming back here, you're going to see a smudge coming up here. This is it right here. It's a smudge of like grease or something like that. It's not a flaw in the paint. However, that scratch is. At this point, we're going to look at the upper section of the door here. See, we got a bunch of little scratches here, more than likely from taking the top on and off. I know with my Wranglers in the past, I seldom put the top up. Let's see here, we've got the windshields around and everything like that. Took a little rock chips, nothing too major. Do have a pretty nice little scratch right there, or chip we call it, I guess. Other than that, the cowl's in pretty good shape. At this point, we're going to go back and take a look some more at the soft top here. You see, it's typical fold marks, wear marks, stuff like that, but overall in good shape. It has tinted windows on this side as well. The LJs are significantly longer with their tops. It actually makes their tops significantly more expensive when you go to replace them. You see the zipper works nicely on it though. At this point, we're going to take a look at the top of the soft top here. You can see there's no rips or holes or tears or anything along those lines. Got typical fold marks, low discoloration, it's a little faded. It's showing that it has been used. Normally I recommend people to try to find a hard top for the winter months, but finding an LJ hard top used is pretty hard because they only made these for 2 years and not many of them were sold. If it was PJ, you would have about 40 to choose from. But we're going to go ahead and move into the right front fender here. Right front fender is a little troubling to me. It's got some typical TJ LJ rust issues. You can see here the paint is bubbling, lifting. We definitely have rust going on here. You can hear it even when I press on it. It's soft and wanting to come up. That's a problem area that's going to need to be addressed. A lot of times with these fenders, once they start showing rust like that, it's because they're getting a little gnarly underneath. And it's hard to see on some of these TJs as well. We also, coming up right here, the paint is bubbled up right here as well. Also signs of a little bit of rust starting out. You see there's a pretty good chip right there as well too. Some scratches and chips and whatnot. Got one right there as well. Some typical bug stuff. Flare on this side is in pretty good shape. Just only a minor scuff right at turn signal. Slight little discoloration right there. Overall in good shape. At this point, we're going to go ahead and put the hood back down. That remaining of the front end of this Jeep. You can see the headlights surround. Yes, it's some rock chips here and there, some light scratches, very typical. Same with the hood. It's got some light swirl marks, some light scratches, and some light rock chips. Hinges are in pretty good shape. Doesn't have any dents from the windshield being strapped to it. A lot of people will strap the windshield to that center section when they hit a lot of bumps at high speed. It dents the snot out of the hood. You see here we have a pretty cool off-road bumper here. Got a nice hoop. Appear to be the Jeep factory lights. You can see they're running the Mopar connectors on them. One of the funny things on this is these fog lights came on a lot of Jeeps, but they were an option, as in you needed the rest of the kit, the switch and whatnot to install them. This vehicle does not have that, so you can't actually turn these on. They're strictly for show right now until you get the rest of the Mopar install kit, which basically a switch and a little harness that goes to the fuse box. Pretty easy to install. It takes about an hour, hour and a half. It's not a big deal if you wanted those to be functional. We're going to take a look at the wheels and tires. As I had mentioned earlier, the Jeep Rubicon Moabs have been removed from this, which is a shame because those are very sought-after, expensive wheels, and they're a really nice look to the truck. A lot of Jeep people have really grown to like these Smooth 8 and Smooth D black wheels. I'm personally not a fan. I have silver 5-spoke alloy wheels on my Jeep with 33-inch tires. So I'm more of a purist, I guess you could say. So you see here, these tires, they have a lot of good tread left on them, about 930 seconds left on them. They're pretty new. They're BF Goodrich Rugged Trail. Pretty good tire here. You can see here our front brakes look like they've been serviced at one time recently. So they got decent pad left on them, probably about 50 or so %. Rotors are starting to show a little bit of wear and whatnot. We're going to take a look underneath here. You can see our little bit of oil been dripping down at one point onto the pitman arm tie rod connection. Also got a little bit of grease there. That's more from servicing than anything else. Ball joints are in average shape along with the U-joints. Figure you're probably going to need to do your U-joints probably in the next year or two at the absolute most. You can see here, you know, suspension cones and the axle housing is their typical rust. You can see here this U-joint looks like it may have been replaced. It's certainly in a lot better shape than the other side. Why you'd only do one, I don't know. But that's what it appears to have been done here. See your steering stabilizer, your coil springs and whatnot on this side. Your control arm bushings. So you can see they've got a little bit of cracking and dry rot going on them. And your Dana 44 front axle specific to the Rubicon with its locker. You can see the electrical connector up in that area right there. There is a problem with this front locker, and I'll get into that in a little bit. It's not currently functioning as it should.